this poly tubing. This is what I use to run in my garden. Each emitter is 6 inches apart, and this is where the water comes out of. So the same amount of water that starts here is going to be the same amount of water that comes here and goes all the way to the end. And that's important so that I know that the plant at the beginning of my line is going to have the same amount of water as the plant at the end of my line. Now this one connects directly into our irrigation valve. As you can see, we just ran a 90 up from the valve here, and then we just got a male adapter to go onto the 90, and then this little orange thing is what is used for the poly to go into. So that just plugs right in there, and then we can set the water and I'm good to go. Now they do make tubing with emitters every 12 inches apart, and that's usually used for shrubs or trees, but for vegetables or flowers we want to make sure that we have this every 6 inches apart, just to make sure that we're getting enough water for all of my vegetables that we're putting in. This you can buy at any of the irrigation stores like Ewing or Horizon or Sprinkler World, which are located throughout the valley in Arizona. But that would be my recommendation. Now you can find these at the big box stores, but they're knockoffs and the line isn't as good. This one's been in for 3 years. It's held up really good over the last 3 years, so I can continue to use it. Now, if I have a break or something that happens in this line too, then what I can do is actually repair the line instead of having to rip the whole thing out and do it again. I probably will in a couple of years take it out and do it again, just because the sun is really hard on all of our stuff here. Now, a lot of people are like, well, why do you need to have the pressure emitters why do you need to have the pressure emitters if I can just run something and punch holes into it and make it have the water run out? Well, that's great, but all the water runs out of the first hole and then you won't have anything toward the end. So this is one of the things that you have to have. You need to have pressure regulators throughout your tubing or throughout your irrigation system. And sometimes people don't quite understand that. I think it's great because I think a lot of people are trying to do some new things and trying to figure out a way to get better watering to their garden. But this is one of the things that you need to think about when you get ready to put in an irrigation system into your garden, is you need to have pressure regulation throughout your watering system so you get the same pressure of water, same pressure throughout your entire system. So just one of the things to remember as you're getting ready to put in your system. And now what I'm going to do is run this throughout my vegetable garden, get my vegetables planted for the spring, and we should be good to go. So my irrigation system is in and is working pretty good for the most part, and covering all of my flowers, and everything looks pretty good. And then I ran into this. I realized I had an open end, so I ended up putting a goof plug on the end, as you can see there, and that stops the water. But pretty simple, but everything seems to look good.